Welcome back to another vlog review. Sorry if I'm not at my best, I'm still getting over a cold, but I'll muscle through to give you my review of World War Z. If you liked the effects of District 9, the intensity of Contagion, and are a fan of zombie flicks, then you'll like this movie. When a zombie outbreak threatens the whole world, it's up to ex-UN field agent Jerry Lane, as played by Brad Pitt, to go out into the affected areas in hopes of finding the origin of the pandemic and maybe a way to stop it. Now, I'm actually a fan of the World War Z book, so I wasn't exactly looking forward to the film. I mean, the thing about World War Z is that it's supposed to be a global threat that features many different eyewitness accounts and different national responses to the problem. So focusing on just Jerry Lane and his family the whole time would defeat the grand scale that World War Z invokes. Usually in horror movies or apocalypse flicks like this, it's so easy for the writers to get bogged down with the family stuff, and I really didn't want the movie to turn into War of the Worlds or 2012, but thankfully they managed to avoid it. Which is a great thing too, because Pitt's fictional family includes 2 little girls, and they could not be more useless or annoying. In the first 10 minutes, they establish that one of the daughters has asthma, so you know that's going to come into play at some point. And then it does, so the movie has to come to a screeching halt as the family heads to a pharmacy during a zombie invasion to pick up some Zombrex. Asthma medicine. But they dump the family in a safe location early on, leaving Brad Pitt free to jet around the world, tracing the root of the zombie infection. And these parts felt a lot closer to the book, giving us multiple accounts of how people are dealing with the undead scourge. Now, I'm usually not a fan of CGI effects or fast-moving zombies, but here, it really works. There was something awe-inspiring in seeing wave after wave of undead hordes splashing off of walls and crashing into helpless individuals, and they actually showed a lot of restraint with the effects, keeping the gore at a minimum. Breaking away from convention, the zombies in World War Z don't bother eating anyone, instead focusing on tackling and biting as many people as possible to spread the infection before moving on to more. And I can't tell you how glad I was that the bad guys in a zombie apocalypse movie were the zombies. I know that might sound obvious, but you have no idea how many zombie flicks throw in an asshole character that screws everybody over at the last minute, or some mad scientist that makes the zombie situation even worse, or what all turns out to be some kind of government cover-up. No, not here. In World War Z, the zombies are the bad guys, and people are generally good and helpful. So while Brad Pitt is the focus of the movie, at one point he visits Israel, which has managed to stave off the zombie infection so far. And we meet a soldier played by Danielle Curtis. And I was surprised just how interesting the female soldier became. Honestly, the first moment I saw her, I got such a Israeli G.I. Jane vibe. And I'm glad they ran with it. Next to Brad Pitt, she probably became my favorite character in the flick. And there's a nice balance of on the edge of your seat tension and intrigue. For the majority of the film, it feels like a very realistic approach to facing the threat of a zombie apocalypse. But there was one scene, and you can see it in the trailer, where Brad Pitt's plane is crashing, and remarkably, he and Curtis are the only survivors. Seriously now, seatbelts save lives. Overall, I found World War Z to be a very enjoyable film. In the zombie movie genre, it gives us something new and interesting, and in terms of apocalypse flicks, it leaves the family at home. A good watch all around, and I highly recommend it. So until next time, I'm Darren with Moving to Blender.